Hey everyone, welcome back. Those orthopedic exams you're all studying for?
The postgraduate ones?
Yeah, exactly, those ones, the
Right on.
FRCS and all those.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to do a deep dive today to help you guys out.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah, so this is going to be all about gait, how we walk.
One of the core topics you have to know inside and out.
Oh, for sure.
Oh, yeah.
And we're going to be using the Ortho Made Simple notes.
Ah, yeah, those are great. From mokyingren.sg, right?
Yep. They were made by a sports surgeon, Dr. Mok Ying Ren. He's at National University Hospital in Singapore.
Oh, cool. So he's recently gone through all this.
Yeah, he aced his FRCS exams just last year, actually, in 2022. So, these notes can be super helpful.
Yeah, tell me.
So let's get right into it. First things first, the gait cycle.
All right, so very basically, we divide the gait cycle into two main phases. You've got stance phase and swing phase.
Okay, so stance, swing, easy enough. But what exactly are we talking about here?
Okay. Well, stance phase is when your foot is on the ground. It's the weight-bearing part of walking. That makes up about 60% of the whole cycle.
Okay, 60% stance, and then obviously the other 40% is swing.
Right. Swing phase is when your foot is in the air. You're swinging it forward to take the next step.
So it's literally like what it sounds like. You're swinging your leg.
Exactly.
Okay, so that's stance and swing. But I know there are also all these sub-phases within each of those, and that's where things start to get a little fuzzy for me.
Yeah, there are a few to remember. Within stance phase, you've got heel strike, loading response, mid stance, terminal stance, and then toe off.
Okay, so 5 sub-phases just in stance phase.
Yeah. And then for swing phase, we have initial swing, mid swing, and terminal swing. So 3 there.
Wow, okay. 8 phases in total to remember. So how do we keep all of this straight? Like, what's actually happening in each of these little sub-phases?
Well, let's break it down. Let's start with heel strike. It's pretty much what it sounds like. The moment your heel makes contact with the ground.
Okay, so that's the very beginning of the stance phase.
Right. Then you have the loading response. So this is when your body weight starts to transfer onto that leg.
So you're going from just that initial contact to actually putting your weight on it.
Exactly. And during this phase, your knee is flexing a bit to absorb shock.
So it's like a little cushion as you're putting your weight down.
Yep. Then we move into mid stance. So now you're fully supporting your weight on that one leg. Your body is passing directly over the foot.
So it's like the middle of the stance phase, right when you're most balanced over that foot.
Exactly. And your opposite leg is in swing phase at this point. Then we have terminal stance. This is when your body starts to move ahead of your foot.
So you're preparing to push off.
Yeah, you're shifting your weight forward. And finally, you have toe off. That's the end of stance phase. You're pushing off the ground with your toes to propel yourself forward.
Okay, so we made it through all the stance subphases. Now what about swing?
So swing phase starts with initial swing. This is where your foot has just left the ground. Your hip is flexing to bring your leg forward.
So you're lifting your leg up and starting that swinging motion.
Exactly. Then you have mid-swing. Your leg is swinging through, and it's reaching its maximum knee flexion here.
So your knee is bending to help clear the ground.
Right. And then finally, you have terminal swing. Your leg is extending out in front of you, preparing for heel strike. And then the whole cycle starts all over again.
Wow, okay. It's actually kind of amazing when you break it down like that, how much is happening in just one step.
It really is.
Okay, so we've got the 8 phases down. Now let's talk about these rockers. I always hear about heel rocker, ankle rocker, forefoot rocker, but honestly, they kind of sound like dance moves to me.
Yeah. They have fun names, but they're actually describing these essential movements of the foot during stance phase. They allow for smooth progression and weight transfer.
Okay, so they're important. But how do they actually work?
Well, think about it this way. As you walk, your foot is constantly rocking and rolling over different points of contact. These rockers help facilitate that motion.
Okay, so walk me through it. What happens first?
So it starts with heel rocker. It happens right after heel strike. Your foot is pivoting over your heel, kind of like a rocking chair. And your tibialis anterior muscle is working hard here to control that motion.
So that muscle on the front of your shin.
Yeah, it's eccentrically contracting, meaning it's lengthening while it's working to lower the foot to the ground.
Okay, so it's controlling that lowering motion. What happens next?
Then it's ankle rocker. This is when your body weight rolls over your ankle. And your quadriceps muscles are super important here to keep your knee from buckling.
Ah, so that's why strong quads are so crucial for walking.
Exactly. And lastly, you have forefoot rocker. This is when your body weight rolls over the ball of your foot. And your calf muscles, your gastrocnemius and soleus, are working hard to push you forward.
So it's like you're pushing off the ground to take that next step.
Exactly. And all of these rockers are influenced by something called ground reaction force.
Ground reaction force. That sounds kind of physicsy.
It is. It's basically the force that the ground exerts back on your body as you walk.
Okay, so like Newton's third law,
Yeah.
every action has an equal and opposite reaction.
Precisely. And this force plays a huge role in how our muscles work and how our joints move during gait.
So it's not just about our muscles moving us, it's also about how the ground is pushing back on us.
Right. It's a constant interaction. And understanding these forces can really help us diagnose and treat gait abnormalities.
Wow, okay. So we've covered the phases, the rockers, and the forces at play. What else do we need to know about normal gait?
Well, there are a few key prerequisites for everything to work smoothly.
Okay, so what needs to be happening for us to walk properly?
Well, first off, your foot needs to be in the right position at heel strike. It needs to be ready to accept your weight and start that rocking motion.
Okay, so proper positioning is key right from the start. What else?
Then, throughout the stance phase, you need to maintain stability. You don't want to be wobbling all over the place.
Makes sense. So good balance and control are essential.
Exactly. Now, moving on to swing phase, you need adequate foot clearance. You don't want to be tripping over your own feet.
Yeah, that wouldn't be good. So how do we make sure our foot clears the ground?
It's mainly through hip flexion. You need enough hip flexibility to lift that leg up high enough. And then you need sufficient step length. You don't want to be taking tiny baby steps.
Right, you need to cover some ground.
Exactly. And finally, you want to conserve energy. This is where minimizing vertical excursion comes in.
Vertical excursion, what's that?
It's basically how much your body bobs up and down as you walk. Ideally, you want to keep that to a minimum to save energy.
So smoother movement equals less energy wasted. Got it. Yeah. This is all starting to make a lot more sense. But it's also clear that gait is incredibly complex. There are so many moving parts and factors to consider.
Absolutely. It's this beautifully orchestrated sequence of events, and it's all happening without us even consciously thinking about it.
Right, we just, like, walk. But obviously there's so much more going on beneath the surface. So how do we actually analyze all of this in a clinical setting? I mean, this is all super important for diagnosing and treating patients, right?
Exactly. And for those exams you're studying for, gait analysis is a key area. So there are different ways we can analyze gait. We can look at things linearly, like measuring step length and stride length.
Okay, so just those basic measurements.
Right. Then we have kinematics, which looks at the angles and velocities of joint movement. So how much is the knee flexing? How fast is the foot moving? That kind of thing.
So it's about those specific movements. What else?
Then there's kinetics, which analyzes the forces and moments involved. So we're talking ground reaction force, muscle forces, joint moment.
Okay, so that's where the physics really comes in.
Yep. And then we have electromyography, or EMG. This lets us see which muscles are firing and when. So we can see if the right muscles are activating at the right time during the gait cycle.
Wow, so we can actually see muscle activity in real time.
Exactly. It's a powerful tool. And then there's pedobarography, which uses pressure mats to measure the pressure distribution under the foot as you walk.
So it's like a footprint, but showing the pressure points.
Exactly. And finally, we have metabolic analysis. This looks at things like oxygen consumption and energy expenditure during walking.
So how much energy are you using to walk?
Right. This can be helpful for assessing efficiency and identifying any potential problems. So as you can see, there are a lot of different ways to analyze gait, and each method provides unique information.
It's like having a whole arsenal of tools to understand how someone's moving.
Exactly. And the more we understand about gait, the better we can diagnose and treat our patients.
This has been awesome. Thanks for breaking all of that down. It's amazing how something as seemingly simple as walking is actually so complex.
It really is, and it's such a fundamental part of human movement.
Absolutely. Okay, so before we wrap up, I just want to remind everyone that this deep dive was based on the Ortho Made Simple notes from mokyingren.sg. Again, they were created by Dr. Mok Ying Ren, a sports surgeon who just crushed his FRCS exams. So, these notes are the real deal.
They're a great resource for anyone studying for these exams.
Absolutely. Now, to leave you all with a little something to think about,
Yeah.
we talked a lot about the different ways we analyze gait, but I'm curious, how do you think technology is going to change the way we understand gait in the future? It's a field that's constantly evolving, and there are so many exciting possibilities.
It's an interesting question to think about for sure.
All right, so until next time, keep studying, keep practicing, and best of luck on those exams.
Good luck, everyone.
See ya.